All right, let's get started. Good morning. Just after 8 here in Australia. Thanks for joining me. And we just have a look at some of the 3D models in regards to the CAD system you use, getting it into Twinmotion. There's a couple of things I like to talk about it that can be very important when you want to get more realism, or also if you work in Twinmotion, because it depends how you model and take your model over. And there are some advantages and disadvantages, of course. And then I also look into some of the models we can import to Twinmotion, from the Sketchfab library and Megascan. And also online, there's some other models you can obviously get. There's some free sites, paid sites, and just the pros and cons. Should I use any of those? And if I use them, what do I look out for? Okay, cool. So I shared my screen. I start up with just a high-rise model I've got here, and I do have this in Twinmotion. So what I like to tell you is about the split up of materials. I know you probably know yourself, you have to split up the materials in ArchiCAD because of applying materials in Twinmotion. So I'm sure that's fine. But what I'm getting at is that you should consider sometimes splitting up materials in the model, especially in this. This is a good example of high-rise. I got lots of glass here. So in theory, you can give, I'm using ArchiCAD, but you can, in any other CAD model too, you can give one glass material, which sort of makes sense. Everything is glass, that's fine. Just get it over into Twinmotion, and I apply one glass material, and I'm happy. Now, the drawback is with that, because I will show you in a minute, it's sometimes you need more or less reflection, depending on your camera location, depending on your light, also depending on what you want to show. So let me explain. So I'm going into Twinmotion now. So I've got this model. And let me just click on this glass here. Let me see if I can get this. Yes. So that's one of the glass, and you can see, let me isolate this. I did export that glass just for the very high rise. That's a separate glass to all the other glasses I have on the lower levels. And there's a reason for it. So let me get rid of the isolation. You see, if I'm zooming a little bit, and I've got an ambience, and I used the HDRI. Let me move up a little bit so you can see this. So I've got a cloud here, a cloudy one. And if I now move around, and let me rotate the cloud a bit, you can see obviously the reflection in the glass. Okay, so I'm moving around, and you can see the clouds of the HDRI reflecting in the glass. And usually when you have a high rise, that's pretty cool. You want to do this. But again, depending how much reflection you want to show. So you can see already in here, I can actually see inside the building. So if I now want to say that's, I don't want to see totally inside. So you select this material a bit higher up, and maybe have to zoom in a bit to pick that actually. There you go. Now the opacity is quite high, 84%. So let me lower this. Oh, sorry, the other way around. So it needs even more. There you go. So if I really almost have a total reflective, which is too much, I know, but we are in a training here. So now the whole high rise reflects the environment. And you notice that the bottom it doesn't, because there are different materials in ArchiCAD. So this means I have a lot more control. I can easily obviously go here and put that in. Let me just drag this in here at the bottom, you see, or even down here. And I've got the exactly same. So you see, there's no problem having a couple of different materials in your CAD system. And then in Twinmotion, you just apply the same glass if you want to. But you don't have as much control if you have one glass. And it's a good example here, down here. What I did is, let me just go down here. I maybe should move my ambience a little bit to make that get quit out of here. It's probably better. All right. Let's go here. Yeah, see, I did behind the glass, I added some walls and applied a texture map. And so this glass, let me just take this glass again. So we go here, here. So if I put this in here, you can see I can't see that anymore. Okay, so that's the reason I, down here, applied a different glass in ArchiCAD. So if I select this glass and go a bit further in, just want to select the glass. There we go. Try again. No, turn that off and try again. There, that's the glass. I'm turning the glass off. So you can see I just added some boxes here simply with a texture map and a little bit of light. And it looks quite nice. It's very simple. I'll show you. It's purely a box, you know, and I put it in front. So keep that in mind in regards to the material split off for glass. So I think glass is very important if you have a high rise, okay? The other option I did is, let me go up here and move around a little bit with my rotation, just to show you that better. I need a bit more light. So what I did is also in ArchiCAD, I have different materials for, let's call it section of the high rise. I go out a little bit. So you can see I've got this, let me isolate. So all this has a different material in ArchiCAD. Now you could easily argue, yeah, you can just apply the same material for the whole high rise, which again is fair enough. But I'll show you why I did this and why it is actually so quite nice. So I picked this material. Let me pick the bottom one because I've got this down here. So that's the material called Facade 3. And let me just deselect this one, gets a bit confusing. So this is Facade 3. Let me zoom in and get rid of some materials. Gotta find this now. Oh, there it is. All right. So that's Facade 3. Let me duplicate this. Duplicate and rename. And we use, actually make it 3.1 or 0. So 0.1, that's fine. So I've got this now. And what I can do is, let me just increase, you know, brightness. Okay. And now I can move this in here or up here. And you can see I've got a darker facade stone or tile, whatever it is. And you move up, that's still the same. So I could do the same thing again and say duplicate, rename, and we make this 0.2. And again, let me make this a more bright. So we go really high up and I move this at the top. So now if you move out, you can clearly see I've got now 3 different materials to show, and it can be very useful because in the design process you might think, okay, you can apply different materials just to see how it looks. Again, this is just an example, you know, but keep in mind, depending what you use, Rivet, ArchiCAD, Rhino, whatever, don't always apply all the same material to all of the high rise. Even if you think, oh, look, this will all be the same stone material out here from the bottom all the way up. Because you can easily go, okay, look, I did this and I'm not happy with it. I do like it all the same. So I just pick this material and you just move it back in here and move it back to the top. You got the same material. But again, you got a lot more flexibility by splitting it a little bit further up in your CAD system. So I think that's, yeah, I've worked like this all the time because I know from experience that, you know, clients come back and they will, you know, maybe think, oh, can you change this and that? And then if you haven't split up the material, you'll have to go to ArchiCAD and split it up or Revit, whatever. Anyway, so that's sort of the bit material split up as a little tip. The other bit is I do have, as example, let me go to my apartment here. Now I don't use Revit a lot. I really haven't used it much. or Rhino. So I don't know how it works, but in ArchiCAD, as example, let me zoom in here. So if I got a door, right? That door, obviously, you can apply some materials. So if I go now to my Twinmotion, which is this one, so let me zoom in. I've got the same door here. So if I click on this now, you can see all the other doors have the same material, obviously, because it's quite usual, you apply the same material, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. Now, there are some really nice doors in Twinmotion. Maybe in this case, on this level, in this unit, I do like to have a door that opens automatically. All right, so let me see. I show you what I mean. So let me go to objects. Let's see if I can find this. Doors, rotating doors. Look, just simple. I drag just one in here, just quickly. So you can see, as we know, by the way, I only let go in the middle and it went straight into the door frame, which is actually quite good. Not sure how Twinmotion recognizes that, but it's pretty nice. So you can see if I get closer now, the door opens. You would have to change this. Let me see. But you can see already the problem. I've got this ArchiCAD door in now, and I can't really delete this or turn this off. If I do this, I turn it off. All the doors are turned off. So that's a bit of a problem now. Okay, so what I can suggest is in ArchiCAD or your CAD system, I've got this selected now, so you have to pretty much hide this. Now, in ArchiCAD, I can't just hide this because if I hide it, I lose my whole door, I lose my opening. So let me just delete it as example. And you can see now I've got a wall, so that's not going to work. So let me undo that step. So what you have to do is you have to pretty much say you want an empty opening in here. So empty opening, we got this down here. And then we click OK. All right, cool. So if I now go and link it back to Twinmotion, I hope I've got the right link here. That would be not very good. Let me try again here. Maybe I'm in the wrong height. Let me have a quick look. Oh, I'm too high up. Let's do this again. How annoying. All right, just do an empty opening. All right, and we go back to Twinmotion, update Twinmotion. There you go. So now I've got rid of my frame in ArchiCAD or in your CAD system. I added this door, and now it's just great. If I walk through that door, it will open for me, and I can go into the room. So that's the way I use to do this if I got a problem with, adding the much nicer door, to be honest. I mean, you have a look. The door looks pretty nice, actually. The handle, it looks pretty nice. And obviously it opens automatically. So that's a good little tip there. How do you do that if you have a direct link from your CAD system? Let me have a look if anyone has a question. Out of the box. Oh, out of the box. Okay, let me go back here to this. What I mean with out of the box is, let's go down here. So I just added the box here. So I'll go there and we go to library and objects, primitives, box. I probably not used the box. I said box. I could have used the plane, but let's just use the box. That's fine. There you go. And I just created that box, stretch it, obviously. You just stretch it to fit your windows. And then you just move that behind the glass. Okay, and then you apply your material. I can show you quickly what I did. Let me click on this box. Yeah, I should be able to. Yeah, okay, so that's my material here. It's just the texture of obviously a shop front window, but what's important, pretty sure if I go down here, yes, see emissive, I did add some emissive. Let me go back to 0. So you see, look, it works at the moment because the sun is going there. But let me go back to Yeah, so it's pretty dark now, and you maybe want some, want to look much lighter. Let me have a look. Okay, so go back here, and from here put 0.5 in. You see it doesn't need much at all. If you're putting 1 or even 5, not bad. Depending, again, it depends all on your light setting, because it can burn out very easy. So yeah, that's quite easy done. You apply this, put a box in. I could do that in ArchiCAD, of course, but many times I'm working away, and for me this is much easier. Quickly add this. I can just turn the boxes off quickly. So yeah, I don't link stuff like this into ArchiCAD or any other CAD system. Good question, Rich. Thanks for that. All right, let me have a look what we do next. Or if you have questions, just drop them in. I'll try to answer them. Okay, split ups we did, doors off, yes. A different glass material, yes. That's pretty much the main thing in regard. There's not that much to it in the modeling process if you have a CAD system linked to Twinmotion, So yes, so we can move forward then. The other thing with the model is obviously the detail. So the more detail you have, the better it looks in ArchiCAD. So if I go back here, so that's my ArchiCAD model, and building inside, furniture. Okay, so the furniture in ArchiCAD, they are very simple. You can get better ones, but yeah, I do find them very simple. So many times I use them as placeholders if I turn them on. So let me just go back, and we go into. Okay, so obviously now I've got, too many furniture, but you can see the detail. I find this very important. This is a great example here. It's pretty much the same thing. You got a table, you got 4 chairs, but the ArchiCAD model is it's so simple that it really affects your realism in Twinmotion. So I highly recommend to swap out your furniture if you get closer. If you're further away, it doesn't matter as much. If you right back here, you can see if I apply a bit better textures for those simple chairs, it'll look probably okay. But as soon as you get close with your camera, that's when you need better models. Okay, so if I go back in here, even the sofa, you can see it's too simple, and it's just not nice. See back here, I added an extra table and chair again. But look, there's some good models out there you can import into your CAD system. Of course, if you do that, I'll show you that later, then fine, just use the one coming over from ArchiCAD. The other thing you got to be careful is if you do use all the furniture, make sure the material split up is correct, because I've done it before when I use them even as placeholders or when I'm further away, and I apply material to, as example, to my chair, to the legs. I just change them quickly in Twinmotion, and suddenly that material is, I don't know, I make just up maybe on the side of the balcony or on a piece of facade, because you haven't been careful in the CAD system. So that's another bit. But look, it's easy. Correct it. Just go back to your CAD system and update the materials. So that's the way I work, but a lot of people like to use their CAD system furniture. That's fine. You do that. But I recommend updating them if you get closer with the camera. Okay, so I'm going back quickly here. So I've got obviously a layer system combo. I just go back here, turn them off, send it through again, and they're turned off. Great. Okay, let's see. Any questions? No? Oh, good. Right. What else do I have for you? I got, yes. Yeah, no, that's all good. There are occasions where you, look, let me show you this. So it's an unusual one. I'll show you. I'm not probably going that close with the camera to my balcony slab, but just as an example, while we're here, You see that the slab edges they're really sharp, okay? And sharp edges, again, for realism, it's not nice. It just stands out a little bit. So what you could do is, that's just for me coming from ArchiCAD. Like I said, I'm sure you know what to do if you're in Revit or Rhino. You even have better options. ArchiCAD is just a little bit, it's a CAD system that has limited options sometimes in regards to the model. So if I go here, let me select this one. Now I can't route those edges. That's just the way ArchiCAD works. So if I really wanted to, remember, this is just an example. Like, just say you have a close edge in your model. So in ArchiCAD, I could convert this to a morph. Okay, now it's not a slab anymore. And what I could do is I could just go and, give it a chamfer. Again, I just do this, maybe apply to all edges. Okay, let's see what it does. Whoops. Yeah, too big of a radius. There you go. Let's try again. 3, that's very small. Anyway, let's see if that's okay. It did it. So you can see that the edge now is a bit more, it's not as sharp. Look, like I said, this is purely making this up quickly in this little lesson. So I'll go back to my Twinmotion. And now, let's see. It's probably hard to notice, but oops, I'm a bit fast here. Again. I wonder if I can see it. Oh, hang on. I probably, again, the wrong. Oh, there you go. That's better. Yeah, there you go. So it's definitely around the edge. Let me have a look. It's very interesting. It did actually see, it doesn't like the texture, funny enough. Let me have a quick look while we're here. So if I take this texture, very interesting. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't like this. I wonder if in ArchiCAD, let me have a quick look. Because I probably have it. Yeah, look, it actually took it took from down here the material. I would have to change this quickly. What do I have here? Let me have a quick look. Balcony 1. Okay. And here we do have, yeah, that's why. Balcony 1. Let me do that just quickly. Balcony 1. If I can find this. There you go. Okay. So it should have the same one now. So it's actually not bad sometimes. You see me doing stuff and it doesn't 100% work, and show you how to fix it. All right, let's go back and link it back. That's pretty good. You can clearly see that the small round edge now, it does look more realistic, because you go outside, you don't find edges that sharp. That just almost doesn't happen. So again, that's just an idea. I just put ideas out there. If you ever get a bit closer and your CAD system has problems with, sharp edges, have a look if your CAD system can do what ArchiCAD does. You can convert it to morph, make the edges a bit round, and you can see it will render out much nicer, much more realistic. Great. Any questions? No, it's good. As I always say, that's great. Then I move on. So the next one I wanted to show you is, all right, let's go into our library of Sketchfab items and Megascans. Let me just move out here. All right, should you use them? I said, yes, I think you should. But again, it depends what you're after. Let me go to Sketchfab. It's important you logged in. This little man on the right, if I click there, it will log me in. See, sign in, because otherwise you can't download them. Or you also have this here, sign in to Epic Games. So sign in, done. Now you can easily search up here for something, or you go through any of the libraries here. As example, let me go to, I just pick something, car. So there's lots of cars in here, but if you want to search for something particular, you can. Let me just go here. Let's cross fingers. I hope I find this. Let's see if they got a Ferrari. Enter. There you go. They got some. Not all of them are Ferrari, I can tell you, but let's just do this one. Okay, you can see it gives you some information. Let me download this. I just click on the download button and it will download. All it does is make sure you are in the correct folder. Let me go here, cars, and I set active. All right, cool. It's downloaded. All you have to do now, you click and move. And while you do this, you place it. And now when I let go my mouse button, it will generate this object. Okay, so that's my Ferrari I've got in here. Yeah, slow down a little bit. Okay, so it obviously works the same as the Twinmotion cars, but it won't drive along the roads if you use the path. You can add it to a custom path, but the wheels won't turn. Okay, so those objects are more for, again, if you do a close-up and you want to place some cool cars as example. Now, how are they set with materials? It depends. Sometimes it comes in split up quite well. So it's trial and error, to be honest. So I've got here the Ferrari. Let me open and see what they got in here. So this one looks cool. There's so many little pieces of the Ferrari. Probably too many, but at the end of the day, I'd rather have some more when it comes from SketchUp. Because if you apply material or you want to change the material and there's not many split ups, that's not good. You almost can't use it. So in this case here, let me go and change the material. Oops. Materials. Oops. There you go. Let me go car paints and move this in. There you go. We all know a real good Ferrari has to be red, obviously. And you can see, so I added this nice paint color. Looks pretty cool already, but then you can see the split ups over here. There's lots of other ones. So you would have to keep moving it in, you know, and just make sure that you have all the red you need. And you keep adding, you know, down here, maybe, okay, this might not be red. This might be more dark gray or something. Look, again, it's just an example. And you can see some of the model coming great, some don't. To be honest, if I look here, no, it's actually okay. It didn't quite go to the floor. Interesting. So to move the whole car now, make sure you click at the top of the chain of the library here. So you click there, and now you can obviously move this down. There you go. I don't know. I think whoever modeled this a bit too low. He won't be able to drive the car at all. But anyway, that's not the point. And the point is that it's fairly easy using those SketchUp, Sketchfab library parts. So, and there's lots there. And I recommend to search by name. Even as example, let's go. We go for what else can we do? Oh, different trees as example. Trees. I just added trees, and it will search through the Sketchfab, and there's lots coming up. And again, you go through, and it's actually not bad. It sometimes does give you quite a good preview, and sometimes it doesn't. Then you just have to try, download it, move it into your scene. And if it's good enough, it's good. If not, hit the delete button. That happens to me all the time, because sometimes I look, oh, that looks awesome, you know. Let me just try this. It's download this. And then you zoom in and say, that's not good enough, which is fair enough. Sometimes they are quite simple. The megabyte you see here, C16, it gives a little bit of an indication. So 16 megabytes for just this little piece of wood with snow, it's probably okay. That's quite a lot. So let me move this in. All right. it's actually good at it. Is the other bit. Obviously, the scale can be very different. Okay, so this is a piece of wood with snow that can have any scale really. So in this case, make sure you scale this down. You can use all the tools we have in Twinmotion, and you just move this down. Let me move this over here, maybe a little bit into the grass. Yeah, I know it's not snowy at the moment. That's fair enough. All right, let me turn this a little bit. So I think, you know, it's a pretty good model. So this will look great if you have a close-up. Okay, so Sketchfabs, absolutely go for it. Look for library parts you need and try them out, because we got them, and there's lots. I mean, there's thousands, 10,000, I don't know how many. There's so many library parts. So you usually find something quite rare. You can also find something for backgrounds, maybe. I had a look once for mountain. There you go. So you got, you know, look at this. That's quite incredible. You know, there's some amazing backgrounds you could use for your visualization. You just download it, move it in, it will generate it, and you have a background right back here. It's really good, actually, very realistic. I really like Sketchfab, so highly recommend it. And yeah, give it a go. You know, I think it's good to actually spend maybe an hour or two sometimes, just do an empty scene, look for stuff that you probably most likely will use in your project, and just download them and have a look. Okay, again, if you want some of this in your user library, you just select the Ferrari. I don't have to do the whole lot, but let me just go off. See, there's a lot of pieces here. You just select it, and then you add this to your user library. Okay, great. So this is Sketchfab. Now the other one we got in here for free comes with Twinmotion. I mean, that's the good thing, is Megascan. And with Megascans, I mainly use plants and surfaces. I'm not so impressed with the 3D assets, and I'll show you quickly. Let me go to building. Balcony. I just picked something. They're really old. There's just not much in it. You see, I find this a bit disappointing. Railing, and they're just pieces, you know, so you can't really do much with it, to be honest. And yeah, look through it, but my personal view is that Megascans, mainly the surfaces and 3D plants, they are really good. So let me go quickly maybe to a surface, and we go to asphalt, and you got a couple of options. Let me go rough, and I just pick one. I just download this one, and then we see how that goes. This looks like damaged asphalt. All right, great. Let me move a little bit down here and move in. It's white at the moment. I haven't let go of my mouse. Now I let go. It's generating now. So if you have a look now, it just added asphalt with some road surface damage. So maybe you got to scale it down. Let me have a look. Oh, we scale it up. That's too big. But you can see again the detail of it is actually pretty good. It is a bit bright for me. So yeah. Again, that's just examples, but if you go and look around, there are some really good textures to use. So highly recommended. Apart from the textures, yes, 3D plants, I do like those a lot. Let me go to flowering plants and click again. And you can see you have lots of options here. Now, to get them into your Twinmotion model, let me go back here. All right, cool. I pick maybe this one here. Now, I've used this before. I need to pick one I haven't used before. Let me see. As example, I haven't used this one before. You can see nothing comes up on the right. So I'm clicking on this. I download this. So it's downloading at the moment. Okay, and straight away you get this here. You click here to create variations. So I'm clicking here. All right, now from all those, it just creates some variation of that particular plant. So let me just add this now. Plants set active content. So I can just move in here. Pause again. So it's very simple. So that's a plant here. It's probably a bit bright at the moment, but that's okay. So you go back and you can just pick some more. You move this, click, and move that in. So you have another variation. Go down, this one here. Again, I just picked something, it's just an example. And all those ones you can obviously use in your Populite. It's exactly the same thing. Let me go and foliage, paint. And all you have to do is move this up a bit. I move this in here. Okay, I've got one here, another one. So all you do is you move them in here, as many as you want. Okay, I go back and yeah, paint. Let me paint the asphalt a bit. You can probably see it better. So, oh, that's still pretty big. All right, so I'm painting now here. Okay, there you go. So you can use all of them with your normal tools in Twinmotion. There you go. Again, very handy, and there's a lot of nice plants in here. I love, because I think we are a bit weak with Twinmotion plants. The defaults we got, they're not that good, and I was very pleased when they started to implement the Megascans. Definitely use that one. Highly recommended. And you can see it's, it doesn't take much time to download some of them, create variations, and then you got them in there. If I go up here, see anything I've used before, see this one I've used before, I don't have to create variations again. I don't have to download it again. It stays in your library. Right, let me see if anybody has a question. No, still all good, I think. That's I like that. Next on the list, I do have, yes, online resources. So it's obviously, there are some free plants or libraries or whatever. Let me just open a couple just to give you an idea, because you have to then look what if you want some, what do I download? The format is, if it's for ArchiCAD or for Revit, or do I just download FBX as example? All right, let me open some of them. Okay, so one of them is CG Trader. So they do have some really good models in here, and it's also, what I like is it has some subject down, like architectural, exterior, interior, and always you just look through it. Now what you have to look out for is, as example, first of all, usually click on the free button. That's good. So that's free here. So all this stuff that comes up now, that's free. Okay, so you go through it, look for something, and you can download this. Let me just do an example. Let me go to this one here. Okay, so somebody modeled this, and he does put that in here. Probably he's got other library parts, and he gives away a free one, which is great. And you might be able to use this as a neighbor property, just an example. So it's sometimes hard to find the free download, but here it's quite obvious. You click here, free download, but then what happens is you go to the next window, and obviously there's the advertisement coming up. That's probably the same guy that did the free model. Fair enough, he advertises all the other stuff. That's fair enough, because you will download his free model. So the free model is here, and see here, files are getting ready. I was a bit too slow, but the files are ready now, and you can see you can just download this house. I don't do this now, but I can just click and it will download this house. The problem is I have with this one as example, the format is Max. So you can't import Max straight into your Twinmotion. So you can see down here, the different, can you see? Yeah, I can't go with the mouse tip, but this as example has an OBJ file, an FBX 3ds. Now this one here might have the same. I need to have a look at it. Let me go back. And you have to look, exchange, model details. So you can see it is a little bit of, sometimes, you know, it's hard to find, but just be patient, because if you think, oh, I really want this, you just have to look through it a bit. Yeah, see, it doesn't look like I can use this in Twinmotion because it's a Max file. So unfortunately, that's not good. But the whole point is I like to show you some of the sites that are very handy, have some free models. And obviously, you can always search for something. Let me search for a sofa. Enter. Okay. There are some really good objects out there. Right. You see, I haven't clicked on the free button yet. So those are the sofas that cost money. But some of them, you know, they're really fair enough. If you have a client and he looks for a particular piece of furniture, sometimes it's well worth it to actually buy this, because that's a good example. $12.99. Let me click on this. Can I zoom in here? Look. Oh, didn't want to do that. You can see already, I don't have to zoom in, but you can see already the quality of the actual model. And this will render really high quality, and it will look very realistic. That's where it comes through. It's sometimes good to click at the images they have of the actual textures, or sometimes they got, let me see if he's got one here, the actual mesh. Yeah, see, that's the mesh, no textures. I mean, you can clearly see, you know, it's a fantastic model. So again, you do interior design, you add what you can in your CAD system, ArchiCAD, Revit, SketchUp, whatever, but you'll never be able to do this in the CAD system, having those nice furnitures there. I think you can import them, but then they come not through that nice into Twinmotion. So I highly recommend sometimes spend a bit of money if you can. If you have a project you make money with, I think it's well worth it, because again, you download this, you pay for it, you will have this in your library, okay, forever. That's only one price. Sure, you know that, but I just thought I mentioned that. So after a while, you got maybe 10, 15 furniture items like sofas that look amazingly good, and you probably don't have to buy anymore. But look, you can always, like I said, click on the free one first. Why not? Let me click on free. It recalculates. And it's not bad. I'm very impressed. Some of those stuff is free. Actually, quite like this one here. You know, you have a look at it. Look at the mesh. It's pretty good. So that CG Trader, it's a very nice one. Just look through it for your next project. Have a go. Search for it, and you might find something even for free that fits. Now, before I forget, you have to have a look if you can download, yes, FBX. So FBX we can import into Twinmotion. Okay, just as a recap, if somebody's not sure, you go to import, you add here geometry, and now you click open, and that's where you look for your downloaded sofa. I have open here, and make sure it is an FBX file. OBJs do also come in. I do prefer FBX. I seem to have less problems. What it also does is, if you import this as FBX file, the textures are coming with the model. They already apply to the model, and it will come in to Twinmotion most of the time correct, but you can still adjust them. Let's just say the scale is a tiny bit too big of the sofa texture. You just reduce the scale a little bit, but it looks pretty good. All right, CG Trader, what else do I have? I do have another one here, which I quite like. Let me draw this one. 3D. I quite like that one too. Again, very similar to all the sites. You search for a model, or you just go through it, and you can see you got, even here, you can say, oh, only show me FBX models. So in this case, I think it's actually quite a nice idea. It only shows you FBX models, and you can still search for something. Let me go in here, do the same thing. Let me go for sofa. Let's see what it finds. There you go. So it found 108 sofas. They're all FBX, I think. Oops, no, I got wrong here. There you go. It went back to all of them. So FBX, you click on it. So there's 32 sofas on this site that have an FBX format. So all those are FBX. Look, there's lots out there, but those two, they are quite good. And some of them are free. You see again, there's the free button here. Some of them look great. And this one is a site that has, even if you pay for it, they're fairly reasonable. I mean, that's $1 here as example. You know, that's really great. So that's a good one. Now, I do have one which is, it's a paid one. You have to pay, but it's widely used for interior designers, and it's called DesignConnect. And the reason is the libraries furnish, anything you find on here, it's top notch, high quality, and they have a lot of choice in actually finding particular libraries or sofas and stuff. They have freebies too. Let me click on it. There you go. But I find some of the freebies, yeah, that's why they're free. They're just not much I can use. But hey, look, like I said, always go and have a quick look. So there's free. But this one is really nice. Let me go, maybe the same here. Let me go to tables. Okay, and let me pick one. Maybe this one. Because many times in interior design, the client is very particular what he wants. And you can see again, if you look at this, that's it's a really, really nice model, actually. I know it's fairly simple, but look, it's still very nice, very detailed. You can see there's, there's a tiny line here that means that they're pieces of wood. They're not just one big table. And all those little things, they add to realism. So you see, by the way, the edges, they're definitely not sharp. I can see that already. So all the little things. So DesignConnect, they really have great products, but some of them are not cheap. Let me have a look if I can see the sofas. Maybe just pick one. There you go. So what happens here, it says here download, but as soon as you click download, it will obviously come up with how much it costs. So this is €26 for a one-off purchase, and they got subscriptions. If you have a subscriptions, this particular sofa will cost you $275. So yes, they're a bit more expensive, but again, look, if you make money and you have the client paying for it, you just add this on top. Right, the other one is globeplants. I'm sure you've heard of that one. Let me do this. See, because Twinmotion does have, not the best plants, globeplants. This is a very good site. I do have to say again, it's cost a bit more money, but yes, that's unbelievable what they got on here. Let me search quickly through bundles. Let me go. I'm obviously in Australia, so I could go here. And those are the bundles as example. There's let me just Australian wild plants. Let me click on this. I just want to show you the quality they have. I zoom in. I hope you can see it through my shared screen, but this is such good quality. The realism you will get out of those models are quite amazing. Okay, now just go through it. You know, you can have obviously bundles. You can just buy one tree, but again, this one is not cheap. But it depends what you do. If you have a big project, you know, it's in your budget. I do recommend sometimes paying a little bit of money and, you know, pump up your library. Because like I said, you do this for a year or two. You have your own library. You don't have to come back and keep buying this because it's a one-off purchase, you know, and you have it in your library. And yes, so again, I think this is recommended if you need high-end renders. And also, if you sometimes struggle to create higher-end renders, that's why I'm here today. The models are very important. I think you saw what I showed you today. If you have a very simple model, you can have the best skills in Twinmotion. It's not going to look realistic. Okay, so the models are very important. Models, light, and textures. Great. What else do I have? I think. Look, I got a couple more, but let me have a quick look if you have any question to this. Oh, I lost you. There you go. Yes, I can't find my screen. That's very good, Cast. Let me have a quick look. Must be somewhere. Oh, there you are. Sorry about that. No questions. Okay, cool. That's all good. Then I'll show you one more. Might as well. So I do have the other one I quite like is, yeah, Turbosquid is quite a famous one. Turbosquid. Let me show you that one. Look, they all look very similar, I know, but it's definitely another one that a lot of professional people do use. And again, they just got so many models in here that I think if you look for something particular, Turbosquid, you'll probably find it. Okay. Let me go on here, do the same maybe. I search for Ferrari. Let me see what they have. Okay. I like they got Ferrari chairs or whatever this is. But again, so they got a couple of cars in here. Expected a bit more, to be honest. But hey, look, I maybe searched for the wrong one. But if you click on some of the models, they will be high quality. Let me go back and maybe do the same thing. Actually, let's go to architecture. Yes, that's why I sometimes think like it's like a jungle here. Just click architecture. You do have to search for it. There's just so much in here. Architecture. Okay. How about I add single story house? Story, not sorry. Let's see if I find something. There you go. So then you go through it. You need some of that's this for I find this quite nice. So you have here 12 two-story single family houses. Let me click. It's a collection. Again, it could be very useful if you have just one you do for a client. You want to go a little bit higher up, but you have like a suburb where it has lots of other little houses next to the client's house. You just add a couple of those. It's just an example. I just make this up for now, but it is quite nice. You know, again, depends on the price, obviously, you know, but some of the pricing is not bad because you get quite a lot for it. Anyway, I again say it's up to you. Try first the free stuff. Absolutely, I do the same. I always look for free first, but if I need something particular and I can't find it, you have to bite the bullet and just download some of the stuff that costs a little bit of money. But again, it depends on the project. I really think it's well worth it. Okay, so I think that's what I've got today. If you have no questions, I'll be finishing off soon. I hope it helped you a bit more clarity in regards modeling. You know, what should I use from your CAD system? You can see sometimes you can use everything, but if you get closer, as a recap, the closer you get with your camera, the more detail you need to make it look realistic, to make it look nice and good. I recommend adding some extra models in Twinmotion because there's quite a lot there. Okay, yeah, animated models. That's a good question. I haven't even covered that, haven't I? Let me have a quick look. I know that you can find the models. Let me just. All right, look, I just searched for animated models and Envato elements came up. I haven't researched that a lot. Let me have a quick look. I'm sure it has to. Yeah, look, if you have an animated model, and I know you import it the same way with an FBX, I know that much. Like I said, I haven't done that. So you do import, you go plus geometry, and you do import your animated model. And the animation comes in, and it should automatically play. So it's just like a normal object you have imported, and you can move it in here. And it's saved with the FBX. You actually import the animation of the particular object. So how about you do this? Because like I said, I haven't done that myself. I haven't had the need to, but I will definitely do this and check this out. That's a very good question. So try to find an object you're after, and use geometry to import, and you will see it animates automatically. The problem is you can't change the animation in Twinmotion. So if it's not the way you want it animated, you have to change it in another software. So it's quite a bit to it, unfortunately. Let's see if I can go back. Maybe I can find something else. All right, so this is on Turbosquid, and it says it's animated, but unfortunately, I don't know if you can get a preview. This seems to me just a normal car, but it says it's animated. Have a quick look. Yeah, it does have FBX. Look, like I said, just try that. I can't confirm. I don't want to say anything that's wrong. So definitely go and have a look. If you find one, just use the normal import option FBX, and you should be fine. Okay. Yes, Rich. That's just tell me how I charge enough to do all this extra work. Yes, that's a problem with clients. I do understand that. Yes, look, you just have to try. You just have to say, you know, some of the models are not that expensive. You know, adding to your invoice another $50 or $100, I'm sure the client will be fine. But I totally understand what you mean. Sometimes you have to obviously go over several projects. You know, like I said, after a year, you maybe have 10 sofas or whatever, lots of new plants, you know, and then, yeah. So to fill up your library over time, don't use one client for that. So yes, you're right. That would probably not be very good. All right, look, thanks for your time. I hope you enjoyed this and you learned something. And yeah, definitely keep that in mind. I think it is important little lesson. All right, thanks, and I hope to see you back next week. Or next week, I will confirm, but I probably want to show you a lot more about Twinmotion sculpture tool, because I keep getting some people asking me about that. So yeah, let's do sculpture tool next week, and I'll show you how it's done. Okay, bye for now.